Oh, shit. Well, I don't know what you want to
The
do.
MLB Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is presented by WinBet. Bet $100 at WinBet and get a $100 free bet. Head over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WinBet. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WYNNBET to claim your free bet today. Welcome everybody to the MLB Gambling Podcast on the
What are we
Sports
doing?
Gambling Podcast Network is already a shambles, and we have been going for 41 seconds, ladies and gentlemen, some sort of world record. My name is Malcolm Bamford. I'm not responsible for the shambles. One of my co-hosts is, who I'll introduce presently. I am in Newcastle upon Tyne, northeast of England. Today is Wednesday, September 21st, and we are here to handicap a lot of the games from the MLB slate for Thursday, September 22nd. The man mainly responsible for all the buffoonery around here, as always, is Mr. Noah Bennick. Noah, what's happening?
Oh, I just screwed up starting the stream, so maybe you missed the beginning of it, and Scott can do his great production work back there and help us out. But YouTube, I think this is just we're going on organically. But what's up, guys? Yesterday's podcast was amazing. Great Britain clinched, and I made a bet with Malcolm that I would be wearing my Indians/Guardians gear if the White Sox didn't sweep, because we had that future on the White Sox winning the AL Central, and they lost that first game in, just White Sox fashion in extra innings. So I guess we can get into that a little bit later. But yeah, excited to talk about Thursday's games.
Yeah, absolutely. And Dylan, I haven't seen you for a little while. You'll be pleased to know that me and Noah are still as unprofessional as ever. How you doing?
Oh, it's good to be back with you boys. We haven't missed a beat. Yeah, good to be back. I haven't seen you guys in a while, but yeah, I wanted to pose a question right off the top for both of you. So obviously you guys have heard Aaron Judge hit his 60th last night, and the kid who wound up getting it, in my mind, I thought he did the right thing. He didn't really ask for anything, just got a bunch of things signed. But I was listening to ESPN radio here in New York, and his uncle called into the station, and they got kind of a background of his family real quick, and doesn't come from a wealthitude of money. And he just says, "Hey, I love Aaron Judge. I love the Yankees." And in his heart, he thought he did the right thing. And, that could change a person's life. That ball could be worth $50,000. So I want to know what you guys would do. Would you give it to Aaron Judge, or would you sell it?
Sell it. 100%. Wow. Give me the money. Before, I know, because it's a baseball thing, and that doesn't really bother me. We've talked before that I am unencumbered by fandom and by having a lean towards a team, and I'm not steeped in the history of it all either. So it really wouldn't bother me about giving it away. But equally, if anyone wanted to do something proper with it, because I knew if I had a piece of football, a piece of Newcastle memorabilia, I would absolutely cherish it with my life, or give it to someone who would. So yeah, but as a baseball for that particular ball, I'd just flog it, take the money.
Oh my! How about you, Noah?
Well, so I have to put myself in the kid's shoes. Being I guess I don't hate the Yankees, but I actively root against them.
Yeah.
So I have to picture myself like getting a no-hitter ball or a perfect game ball from Verlander, or like a home run ball that was like 500 for Miguel Cabrera, to like put myself in this kid's shoes. I wouldn't go up there and ask for nothing. I'll tell you that. So for me, it'd probably be like, do you guys have like a sports card around, like a rookie card or something like that, and just get a signature on that and give him the ball? That would probably be my biggest thing. It's like you were giving him something that's worth a lot of money, but it's like more for his personal memorabilia type stuff, and I still get something of value, I guess.
Yeah, as much as I want to root for the Yankees, I mean, a part of me would probably sell it as well. I love Aaron Judge. I think he's a great guy to root for, but it doesn't really mean anything to me. So I would probably give it away as well. $50,000 could change a person's life, So he might look back in a few years and be like, damn, I could have used that money. So
he's going to hit 61 or 62 on this Friday night Apple Plus TV game, and it's going to screw everybody over, piss everybody off. It's going to be hilarious. MLB shoots itself in the foot again.
While we're on this subject, I know we said we weren't going to waffle on for hours tonight, but I'll tell you a little story from 2 weeks ago. Remember, I went out on the Friday night a couple of weeks ago, so I couldn't record the pod. And I took my dad for his birthday. We went to see a talking by Kevin Keegan. Now, I'm not expecting you to have heard who Kevin Keegan is. Kevin Keegan is the most famous manager Newcastle ever had. He was a great player. He was an England player. He won the Ballon d'Or twice, so he was the European Footballer of the Year twice. Once with Liverpool and once with Cologne when he played in Germany. Hamburg, sorry, when he played in Germany. So we went to see this show and he did a little talk and it was brilliant. But then they did a little contest, drew some names out of a hat, and my name came out and I won a signed Kevin Keegan shirt from the 1982 World Cup. So I instantly thought, like I've just said about Aaron Judge, ka-ching, get that straight on eBay the minute it comes. So they took my name and address and said they would post it out to me. And sure enough, 2 days later, last Tuesday, the parcel arrived through the door, but in big letters across the front, it's got to Malcolm, best wishes, Kevin Keegan. So that's pretty much buggered the value of it, because unless I sell it to someone else called Malcolm, so it's just sitting on the kitchen. It's still in the packet, scrunched up on the kitchen table through there. It's been there for like a couple of weeks now. So I was devastated that Kevin Keegan had put my name on it. So I think that shows you how heartless I am with my memorabilia. So I'm not just saying it because I was going to flog that Kevin Keegan shirt. So if anyone wants a shirt signed to Malcolm from Kevin Keegan, send me your details and we'll come to a happy price.
I'll say this, Dylan. He's located in your area. Now, are you pro or anti Zach Campbell? What are you here? Because you know he's going to be running around in the stands.
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't even know who that is.
You don't?
Oh, even I know who that is, Dylan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who is that?
All right.
It's the YouTube kid who runs around getting all the balls.
Oh,
is that right?
Okay.
The YouTube kid that's like 36 years old or something like that.
He's younger than me.
I mean, he was just in the news.
There was a fight for that ball. Did you see the
yeah.
mock?
That was a good scrap. Yeah.
That was a good scrap. All right. We said we weren't going to waffle.
Oh, my
on,
God. We're good.
waffled. So
We're absolutely waffling. And now there's another flying well. Oh, shit. The animals are back. What's that? Oh, my God.
What kind of insects do they have?
I don't know, but I've never seen anything like that. It's heading my way on the table. Oh, shit. Right. I'm going to do this with one eye and keep an eye on this thing. Right. Oh, the wheels have come off this show. In fact, the wheels never got on this show. It started as a farce, and it hasn't really improved much. If there's anyone listening, don't tell Moon off what's going on here. We'll be well and truly we'll be on the naughty stuff.
oh my God.
Okay, we're going to handicap some games in a minute, and we're getting our lines from WinBet, the perfect time to join WinBet, where new customers will get $100 match deposit is a free bet. The WinBet Casino is open 24 hours a day. You can get a 100% deposit there up to $1,000. WinBet is live in Arizona, Colorado, Indiana, Louisiana, Michigan, New Jersey, New York, Tennessee, and Virginia. Plus, WinBet has their own same-game parlay feature. Click on the game you like, select build your own bet, and start a monster parlay. Loads to choose from. Sportsgamblingpodcast.com/winbet. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WINNBET to claim your free bet today. Offer subject to change. T's and C's at winbet.com. Must be 21 or older and present in the state where play through WinBet is available. If you or someone who knows a gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700. Fubo TV, another one of our new sponsors here. Complete coverage of college and pro football with NFL Red Zone plus games at 4K no extra charge. Hundreds of channels of live sport and entertainment. No contract, no commitment. You cancel at any time. Our offer is to get 15% off your first month. Go to FuboTV.com/SGP. That's FUBOTV.com/SGP. And finally, before we get going, Odds Trader, the place to compare odds from all major sports books. Also compare different sign-up codes and promotions. And then you'll get features like play-by-play updates, live scores, bet tracking, key game statistics, game day weather, etc. Oddstrader.com/Blue Wire is the place to get all of that. Odds Trader is the number one site for all of your game day bets. The issue I've got now is I can't see the animal. So I was a bit happier when at least I knew where it was. So now I know it's here somewhere, but I can't see it. So I'm going to hover my legs up. So I've got my legs off the floor. Right. Okay. Everything's under control. As we have done the last few nights, we're going to concentrate on the games with teams in that are playoff kind of related. A couple of good games already finished today. Mets had a bad result, but got away with it because the Braves were turned over by the Nationals, so the Mets maintained their lead. How did you feel about that game tonight, Dylan?
Oh, Taiwan Walker he didn't have it today. But yeah, it was good. We finally clinched a playoff spot. I don't think I've been on since we clinched a playoff spot. So it's good. Being a Met fan is all right now, but we still have more work to do. We need to win the division. So got some work.
Taiwan Walker, though, he pitched 5 scoreless, gave up 1 solo homer in the 6th. He's going along absolutely fine. And then I think gave up a walk and a hit maybe in the 7th. I don't think they should have trotted him out for the 7th. They had the bullpen warming up way before that. And then all of a sudden the reliever, I don't know who it was, gave up either the 3-run shot or the grand slam. Yeah, and that was it. And all of a sudden Walker's stat line looked horrible.
Yeah.
When actually he got through 6 innings, having given up 1 solo shot. So yeah, a little bit unfortunate there. Okay, we will start tomorrow with the 3:37 Eastern first pitch between the Seattle Mariners and the Oakland Athletics, where George Kirby will go for Seattle. Adrian Martinez gets the ball for the Oakland A's. And I will see how we're getting on for lines. My computer hasn't been any faster since last night. Foxy quite enjoyed me saying it was as slow as a week in prison. He likes my little Englishisms. Seattle are -240, Auckland +195. Total here is set at 7. And we'll come back to you, Dylan, to lead us off with Seattle at Auckland.
Yeah, I was able to get a 7.5, and I took this under, Malcolm. I made my line 6.8. I love backing George Kirby on the road. 5-2, 2.88 ERA, and he's faced Oakland 3 times already this year. 1-0 with a 2.50 ERA. Batters are only hitting 2.28 off of him. He's given up 3 runs or less in 5 straight games. Besides that one hiccup in Houston, Oakland has struggled to score some runs. So I think Kirby will be able to limit the A's bats. Think this screams under, so I'm going to go under 7.5. 7 still I like. I set my total at 6.8.
Okay. Noah?
Oh, it's Mariners run line for me. Kirby's going to go out there and he's going to shut down the A's like Dylan said, and I think this offense bounces back. They've had a couple of rough games in a row here. I'm on Seattle here all day.
I agree with half of that. I think Kirby's going to shut down the A's, but I'm not sure about the Seattle offense bouncing back here. This was, we handicapped this game last night, and I said it looks something like a 5-2 Seattle win, which would kind of fit everything that we've given. So you've got Seattle on the run line in there, as well as the total hovering around 7. I'm going to side with Dylan, but I would say either or both of those players, to be honest, are exactly the handicap that I came down. Looks a fairly straightforward handicap. I don't know how you come up with anything else here. Not the most exciting game to handicap. Better game here is the 4:10 Eastern first pitch between the St. Louis Cardinals and the San Diego Padres, where Jack Flaherty will continue his comeback from injury for St. Louis, and Joe Musgrove goes for San Diego. St. Louis are +115. The Padres are -135, and the total here is set at 7.5. Name-wise, Noah, this was a good-looking pitching matchup, although Flaherty hasn't quite had a chance to show it this season yet.
Yeah. First matchup, though, I want to ask, you want to hear the percentages of the money here? We did it the last 2 days that we've done this format of pod. Do you want to? You want to keep
go
that?
For it, man.
All right. Well, everybody's on the over, and all of the money's on the over, too. So you guys are on the less popular side. So that's what you love to hear. 78% of the public, 91% of the money. So definitely what you want to hear. St. Louis and San Diego. Like you mentioned, these two guys have the name value. But let's hit some trends first. St. Louis, they're 12-7 in their last 19, 10-5 in their last 15 on the road, and 6-1 in their last 7 games against the Padres, who are 5-2 in their last 7, and that included a 5-0 win against the Cardinals in Game 1 of the series. Jack Flaherty for the Cardinals is 0-1 and 6 starts off the IL, 4.70 ERA, 17 strikeouts, 16 walks in 23 innings pitched. He has a 5.62 ERA in his 2 road starts this year against the Pirates and the Brewers, so not very good offenses there. That might be a little bit of a red flag. And then the Padres are starting Joe Musgrove, like we mentioned, 10-7 on the year, 3.16 ERA, 165 strikeouts, 34 walks, and 165 innings pitched. He has a 4.80 ERA in his last 5 starts. Malcolm, call me crazy, but I love this over for a third straight day. Both pitchers are big names, not in great form against good offenses. Give me this over.
Yeah, well, we were wrong about that Tuesday night one, weren't we? And we also talked about my benching Mike Clevenger, who then threw. Tough. Yeah, well done, everybody. That's been nothing but a shambles ever since. NC Nick is feeling a lot more comfortable than he already was feeling, to be honest. Sitting on a big throne with his plumped up cushions like Henry VIII. Couldn't be any more comfortable. This one for me, I thought was a good spot for San Diego. It was a good price. Just on the pitching matchup, Flaherty's still on his way back, a little bit rusty. And I thought minus 135 is just about the limit of what I would take here for San Diego. Be interesting to see what Dylan made his lines in this one, whether or not he was happy to take the Padres.
Yeah, I'm on the side with you, Malcolm. I lean the Padres. I think we're getting a great number. I got minus 132. I made them a minus 145 favorite. Padres, they've won 4 straight. I think they're the hotter team right now where, like you said, Jack Flaherty's still getting going and they're average on the road. So don't trust Flaherty either. And I kind of disagree with the movement with the money because I set my total at 7.4. You got 12-mile-an-hour winds blowing in California or San Diego, and 3 games straight I've gone under. So I kind of lean under here, but my more official play would probably be Padres.
Okie doke. Next is a 6:40 Eastern first pitch between the Toronto Blue Jays and the Tampa Bay Rays. Jose Barrios will go for Toronto. Tampa Bay officially TBD. I reckon it's Ryan Yarbrough going for the Rays. In this one, no lines. I haven't seen any. I'll just double check here. No lines on this one with the absence of a Tampa Bay pitcher. Yarbrough, do we think? Nod of heads, Dylan, Noah?
I haven't seen anything. I expect him to go, to be honest. I think it's his time in the rotation.
Honestly, yeah, I haven't seen anything, and we've said it at least once before on this podcast. Yarbrough is like that name for the Rays that they throw in there, expecting that he's going to get a start, and it's like 50% whether he's going to start or not.
So distracted. That thing's making its way back up the table leg again. Yarbrough, I'm going to show you in a minute. Yarbrough is 2-8 on the season with a 4.33 ERA, has 79 innings pitched for 60 strikeouts. Barrios 11-5, 4.99 ERA, 158 and 2/3 with 136 strikeouts. Yarbrough's been mixing up between long relief and maybe a glorified opener, not quite a fully fledged starter. His last 5 games, he's only started one of them and has gone 18 innings in those 5. So, yeah, what's that? Full averaging 3.5 innings per appearance. Actually going okay, 2.95 in that stretch. It's you get a really mixed bag off Yarbrough. There's no difference. He doesn't appear to have a preference, whether he's starting or coming out of the bullpen. He's getting better as the season goes on. He was a bit of a bust in the early part of the season. He's actually held it together quite well recently. He has... this is the first meeting between these two sides this season, so no stats to go on there. Barrios, his numbers in the last 5 have been okay, 3.30 ERA, but he hasn't looked convincing at all. I think he's got away with it. There's been lots of contact. He's been giving up a lot of hits, but not being punished for it. I don't think that's particularly sustainable. Toronto, the game total has gone over in 6 of the last 7 there. I don't trust either pitcher here to keep the score down. We saw the Blue Jays scored 16 last night. They put a lot on Kyle Gibson early in that game. I don't trust either enough. I've got no lines here, so I'm going to come to Dylan next because I want to take the over. Even if it's around, I think it'll come out at maybe 8.5. Might even be a 9, you know. But Dylan, what did you make of this? And would you be taking an over on the number?
Yeah, I would. If it was Barrios and Yarbrough, I set my line at 8.7. So I do see a high scoring game, maybe 8.5, maybe get an 8, but I like high scoring. They just scored 16 runs yesterday. So
Yeah.
it was a football score yesterday, 18-11. So yeah, I like the over.
And Noah, what do you make of this one?
Yeah, it's sort of tough without the lines. My angle, I guess, would be here. Toronto just had the better of the Rays in their last series that they played. And these two teams have basically been pretty unpredictable throughout the season. Toronto's the hotter squad, so I'm just going to keep taking the Blue Jays here against the Rays.
Okay, so Noah fancies the Blue. I just couldn't take them with Barrios on the mound. Even I don't know what they were playing at last night because
You
Gibson
feel
being
more comfortable with Yarbrough, though?
No, not at all. No, that's what I mean. I didn't trust anybody really, and that's kind of what led me to the table to the total. But yeah, absolutely no issue with you having an opinion on that one, Noah. Next up is a 7:05 first pitch between the Houston Astros and no, it isn't. It's a 6:40 Eastern first pitch between the Milwaukee Brewers and the Cincinnati Reds, where Brandon Woodruff goes for the Brewers. Officially TBD for the Reds. I think it is Hunter Green. I've handicapped Hunter Green for this one. Unfortunately, no lines again without a TBD pitcher. But Dylan, did you make some lines on this, and what was your feeling about it?
Yeah, no lines, but I actually handicapped Woodruff going for the Brewers and Mike Minor going for the Reds.
Oh, okay.
So as for that pitching matchup, I made the Brewers a -180 favorite on the road, -1.5, needing a -115 or better to take them. As for the total, I made it 8.8. It's going to be a cloudy, windy day in Cincinnati, 10-mile-an-hour winds blowing out to center field. I'm hoping to get a good price on the Brewers on the run line at a good number. Travel spot for them, but they're fighting for that playoff berth, and the Reds, they're really not fighting for anything at all. You can't back them right now, 2-8 in their last 10, and Mike Minor has yet to win a game at home this season. So pretty simple. I'm going to take the Brewers on the run line, depending on the price.
Yeah, I've got nothing to add on this one at all. I've obviously handicapped the wrong pitcher, or you have. Either way, it's not very helpful. Noah, the Brewers at the Reds?
I have Hunter Green here, so I'm going to go with that. In Green's first start off the IL against the Cardinals, he went 6 innings pitched, 11 strikeouts, only gave up 4 hits, no runs. And then you look at Brandon Woodruff on the other side. He's been just as good. I think Minor completely changes the handicap, but I'm going to be on the under if it's Green and Woodruff.
If it was Green, I've got Cincinnati with a question mark up against him, just because I've been out on the Brewers for ages, really. And I watched that game tonight against the Mets, and they still didn't convince me. Like I said, you look at the final score, and it looks like the Brewers have got to Taiwan Walker and actually batted quite well, but they didn't. Didn't really put them under any pressure at all. And I think if Hunter Green can hold it together, which he's more than capable of, I think they could be live dogs in this one. But yeah, we just have to see who they do trot out tomorrow. No house advantage. I'll tell you about changing the game by offering the most dynamic fantasy sports platform available today. If you play in a pick'em contest versus other people, you could win up to $250,000 or more in cash. Download the app, choose a contest, pick your player props, and you can climb the leaderboard to win the big money. Test your skills against the house as well. Any kind of sport is on there. If you check out No House Advantage today, you will experience daily fantasy sports redefined. It's not just how you play, but it is where you play. Sign up with our promo code SGP at nohouseadvantage.com or download the app to get a first deposit match up to $25. Promoguide.us, the best place to go if you're interested in plus EV betting strategies. They've got daily updates on odds boosts, huge cash bonuses from all the major sports boosts, and a VIP Discord group puts even deeper EV and analytics at your fingertips. If you're not already using mathematical models to help you with your picks, you're missing out. It's really valuable too. And Promo Guy, run by a small team of passionate sports fans, and they have 100% transparent and proven method for betting smarter. So use and check out promoguy.us. And finally, Sleeper. You know all about the over-under game on the Sleeper Fantasy platform. The first sports contest built into your fantasy experience. You can just click on the player that's in your team if you think they're going to have a good day, and you can take the over on their props there, win yourself a few quid. They have college football player props as well as NFL. Sleeper.com/SGP. Sleeper will automatically match your first deposit up to $100. Sleeper.com/SGP. for the $100 match on your first deposit. T's and C's apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. 7:05 Eastern first pitch. The Houston Astros at the Baltimore Orioles. Justin Verlander for Houston and Kyle Bradish. Interesting pitcher goes for the Baltimore Orioles. No lines on this one either. Why would there be no lines on this one? We're going to throw this across to...
not confirmed. So.
Oh, so Verlander's not confirmed. But no, we think he's going to go. Lead us with a handicap.
Yeah, we believe that Verlander's going to go. So, I mean, this one, it's pretty simple for me, but I'm going to walk you guys through it. Houston takes a flight up the Atlantic coast from Tampa to Baltimore, where the Astros are 9-1 in their last 10, and Detroit, they're about to sweep the Orioles. So not very good form for the O's over there. Justin Verlander is 17-3 with a 1.78 ERA, 163 strikeouts, 27 walks, and 157 innings pitched. In his first start off the IL, he got pulled from a 5-inning no-hitter with 9 strikeouts. And then on the other side, bumping for the Orioles is Kyle Bradish, 3-7, 5.05 ERA, 93 strikeouts, 37 walks, and 101.2 innings pitched. A 5.36 ERA for him in his last 3 games. In the last game that Verlander pitched, I disobeyed command number 1, and I faded him. And he almost goes out there and shoves a no. So again, I'm not fading this guy. We don't have anything in front of us, but I'm assuming like this one's going to come out like minus 170-ish. Dylan, what do you think is going to come out here?
Yeah, I made the Astros a minus 187 favorite, so okay. a little higher, but yeah, I think you're right around that area. And for me, I'm probably going to be on the same side. Verlander's probably on a handful of guys where you just can't fade them. So Coming back, I think he's going to pitch a little longer this time. Orioles, they're not good right now. I think they're regressing back to the mean. Lost 4 of their last 5. Like Noah mentioned, Astros, they're red hot, 9-1. They're not slowing down. So as for the total, I set my total at 7.1. It's going to be a very windy day in Baltimore, 15-mile-an-hour winds blowing in. So with Verlander on the mound, if we get a 7.5, maybe you take the under, but I'm probably just going to take the Astros run line.
Yeah, I'm going to be on the Astros run line as well.
I was leaning. What was the total that you put up here, Dylan?
Yeah, I made my total 7.1.
Yeah, I was leaning towards the under on this. Basically, it's a handicap. Bradish, in that I like him because you're expecting Verlander to go and give up not many runs, 0 or 1. Houston have been scoring a few more lately, but I think Bradish is going to finish the season strong here. Houston should win this, but again, could be a 4-1, something like that. Baltimore have cooled off recently. I've read Baltimore quite well. I didn't expect them to have a decent September, and they have certainly quietened off a little bit. So, but I think Bradish can keep them in it tomorrow, and I'm going to take the under. Captain Insano's arrived as well. He concurs. He's going to be on the under as well. Good evening, Captain. How are you doing? Next up, we will go to probably the game of the night. 7:15 Eastern is the Atlanta Braves at the Philadelphia Phillies, where we've got 2 lefties on the bump here. Max Fried, who we handicapped last night, or we nearly handicapped last night, goes for the Atlanta Braves, and Ranger Suarez will go for the Phillies. Lines are Atlanta minus 155, Philly plus 129. Total is set at 8. Max Fried, 13-6 with a 2.52 ERA, 175 and 1/3 pitched with 159 strikeouts. Ranger Suarez, 9-5 on the season, 3.53 ERA, 140 and 1/3 pitched with 118 strikeouts. Max Fried's been great, 2.10 ERA in his last 5 starts. 7 of Fried's last 8 games have all gone under the total. So there's a pointer there towards an under on that total of 8. 260 on the road, so no issues with Fried on his travels either. Ranger Suarez, I think he's been struggling slightly lately. ERA is 4.50 in his last 5, but slightly shorter starts as well. Possible fatigue setting in maybe for Ranger Suarez a little bit. We've talked about that with some pitchers as we get into the back end of September. He did pitch 6 against Atlanta in his last start, actually, and pitched really well. Only gave up 2 hits and 1 earned run. So the Suarez starts recently have all been going over the total, but there's no real pattern either. So I was struggling with the total here because Fried's making me want to go under. Suarez is making me want to go over. It came down to, it was really boring, actually. It was I'm going to take the 1.5 play on the Braves. I don't trust the total. I don't really trust Suarez at the minute. The Braves actually struggled a little bit tonight, but maybe they'll get all those runs back tomorrow. So I'm going to take the Braves here. Not very flash pick, but Atlanta at -154, Dylan.
Yeah, I do like the underplay. I like it at 8 if you're able to get 8. I see 7.5 floating around. I set my total at 7.7. On the East Coast, it's very windy, 13-mile-an-hour winds blowing in Philly. So, and in the last 10 games, the under is 8-2 for the Braves. So I like the under, especially with all Max Fried stats that you just put out. So I'll lean the under with you if you take that.
Noah.
For me, it's I use the same handicap for the Toronto Blue Jays and the Tampa Bay Rays. Toronto has been the better team as of late, and they had the advantage over the Rays in a previous series the week prior. Atlanta swept this Phillies team a week ago, and now they host the Phillies again here. And, they have the better starting pitcher on the mound in Max Fried than Ranger Suarez. They have the better bullpen. They have the better lineup. I think it's a clean 1.5 unit play, like Malcolm said.
Yes, Noah. So I've learned that from you, mate. This is me showing growth and development. 7:15 Eastern. First pitch, the Boston Red Sox and the New York Yankees. Michael Wacha goes for Boston, and on the hill for the Yankees will be Jameson Taillon. Just recently did I see some lines pop up on this one. Boston +145. The New York Yankees are -170. The total is set at 8.5. Dylan, how do you feel about your crosstown rivals here?
Yeah, strictly value play here for me. Give me the Red Sox first 5 +0.5 -110. And I'll also sprinkle a little on the Red Sox money line at +145. I only made the Yankees a -135 with Taillon on the mound. The Red Sox, they've really been able to get to Taillon in the 3 times they faced him. And Michael Wacha's looked great since coming back. So the Sox are 3-1 in his 4 games he started on the road since coming back. I think they have the pitching advantage even on the road. Give me the Red Sox first 5 +0.5, and I'll also take them as my dog of the day, +145.
Okay, interesting way of taking that one apart, Dylan. I like it. Noah, how you feel about this?
I love that handicap from Dylan, and honestly, I wasn't even thinking of the first 5. You look at Taillon's last start where we heavily faded him against the Brewers as well. He gave up 4 in the first 5 innings. So, I completely agree with the side and Dylan on this one. I like the Red Sox to win the game, and the first 5 is even better bet, I think.
Yeah, I'm going to make this a team ride, not just so you can press your button either, Noah. Wacha's been more than enough for me to put a little bit of faith in him. And yeah, we faded Taillon hard. And really the reasons kind of stand why we faded Taillon. The Yankees are still getting away with it. They really should have lost last night. They didn't. We took them. We've taken them on in the Wednesday game, which is going to start in about an hour's time with Pittsburgh at a huge price. So interesting to see how they go. And I'm happy to take them on again, really. I think they're vulnerable. And every time they get beat, they're going to do so at a decent price. So give me the Red Sox as well, and we'll make that a team right. Well done.
You got to sprinkle, like Insano said, sprinkle some money in there, Judge anytime home run. He's gonna do it
against the Red Sox. It would be amazing.
It would be amazing.
That animal's gone. I can't see it now. I think I'm settled down.
We're 34 minutes in.
It's had me on edge. It looks like it's going to have me ankle off at any minute. Right, okay. We've got. Oh, you know what game this is? Noah on the show. Which game is this?
Oh, get your pens out.
Oh well, you see, it's not the penultimate one because we missed it. I've tricked you. It's the final game. It's actually sorry, mate. The Cleveland Guardians and the Chicago White Sox, where we have Shane Bieber going for Cleveland and Johnny Cueto going for the White Sox. This could have been the pitching matchup of the night as well, actually. Cleveland's a -140. We've got a home puppy for Dylan if he wants it here. The White Sox are +190. We have a total of 7. Noah, you can lead us off with the ultimate game on the card.
Yeah, the ultimate game. Okay. Cleveland White Sox. Cleveland is 11-2 in their last 13 games. The White Sox, they're 13-6 in their last 9. But guys, I'm wearing Cleveland gear, and it's just because I was wrong. And I think the White Sox, they're in the tank. Now without having the division tiebreaker, the Guardians could go 7-7 in their last 14 games, and the White Sox would need to be 13-1 to win the division. It's possible, but 6 games back, I just do not see it happening. Starting for Cleveland here is Shane Bieber. He's 11-8 with a 2.88 ERA, 184 strikeouts, 34 walks in 181.1 innings pitched. He has gone 3 straight games with only 1 run allowed. And starting for the White Sox is Johnny Cueto, 7-8, 309 ERA, 88 strikeouts, 31 walks, and 139.2 innings pitched. He has a 193 ERA in his last 2 games with the Guardians, in his last 2 games against the Guardians. And one of those games was a 9.2 inning start. He went into the 10th inning in extras, and he didn't allow a single run. For me, hey, nice job, Malcolm. He caught the flying animal.
Yeah. Live biology. Look at that. What is he?
That's disgusting.
Jesus.
It is disgusting, isn't it? This is the bravest I've ever been. Sorry, this is great audio for all the people who've downloaded this tomorrow, but I'm waving the flying animal around. It's just happily sitting on a little coaster there. Carry on, Noah.
Yeah, he caught it with like a drink coaster. Great job, Malcolm. I'll give you a clap for that.
Thank you very much.
If you guys watch this first game of the series, the White Sox should be playing with their backs against the wall. It went into the 11th inning when it finished. In the 10th inning, they did rally back. They scored a run off of Kalase, which has basically almost been impossible this year. In the 11th inning, though, the Guardians rallied and put up 5. In the middle of that, you saw, I forget the guy that stole the base. It might have been Miles Straw. He steals third base, and Yoan Moncada does not cover the bag. So the ball just goes sending into the outfield, and the Guardians base runner then scores. It's the ultimate, surrender in baseball if you are just not playing your position. I don't know if you saw the highlight from the other day. Pirates third baseman Brian Hayes had his hand in a sunflower seeds bag while the play was going on, and he got ripped for that. That is
against
worse.
The Mets.
That's even worse for Yoan Moncada in a playoff run. That, I mean, you are not out of it. You just put up a run against one of the best closers in baseball this year, and yet you aren't even paying attention to the game. You got a speedy runner on second base who just stole third. You didn't cover, and they scored a run because of you. This White Sox team, they have all the talent in the world, and that was the purpose of the handicap of jumping in on a plus 700 price, is they have much more talent than the Guardians, but the Cleveland just plays with more heart. So I've acknowledged that over the last 2 weeks, but I went down to the ship in the White Sox. My favorite play here is the under. I think that Bieber and Cueto can go out there and shove. But if you're looking for a pick on the game, on a side, it's Cleveland. And I changed my pick on Tally site to Cleveland for game 2 as well.
You did. I noticed you called an audible this afternoon, Noah.
Yeah.
I'm all for that. Nothing wrong with it. No weakness shown there, Noah, in the man changing his mind. Dylan, are you Cleveland or White Sox?
I agree with the Cleveland side. I made them a -140 favorite. I see -132s, -134. I think that's a good price for Shane Bieber. But I also lean over 7. A little chalky at -120. If you want to get plus money at 7.5, I like the over. It's going to be a windy day in Chicago. 13-mile-an-hour winds blowing out. I think both pitchers are susceptible to give up a few runs to get us over the total. Both teams are 6-4 toward the over in their last 5 meetings between these two. 3 of them have gone over. So I do lean Guardians. I think they're the right side on the road, and I lean over.
Second team right. I've been all about Cleveland over the White Sox recently, actually. Again, Cleveland are a team that I think I've handicapped quite well recently. And a lot of what Noah just said about the White Sox, they do just seem to be phoning it in as much as they're kind of hanging around. They're not doing it with any great conviction. I only noticed Lewis Robert in the box score last night. I kind of forgot he was back. He was batting 7.
He's playing Wednesday night, though. He's out.
No. It's just so little fanfare about his return, what was a premium player, really.
Yeah.
And it just hasn't got it together. And the whole thing's still just a bit of a mess. So, yeah, I took Cleveland last night. I've got them again tonight for the Wednesday slate. I'm going to put them in again. So, yeah, give me the Guardians for the team round at -140.
At the end of the year, that's going to be interesting with the whole White Sox dynamic is you got to make some changes. I don't know if it comes in coaching staff. I don't know if it comes in front office. But, I mean, it is basically over for them. And we're going to play these trumpets for the Guardians here.
Woo! There we go.
Any games that we wanted to add in? Because that was the last one, correct?
Yeah, we're going to have a little bottom draw feature here of any of the bum fights that catch your eye.
That's awesome.
Yeah, just this is the bottom draw because, I mean, regardless if the games haven't got playoff implications, someone's going to win. The total's going to go over or under, and there's money to be made. So we'll go around the room. I've got one I'll come to in a little minute, but no, I know you were keen to point at least one out for us. So what have you got?
Yeah, we got an appointment television matchup that we just weren't able to talk about because the Dodgers, they basically locked up #1 seed, and the D-backs, they're bottom feeders in the NL West. But I love the under in Zach Gallen and Julio Urias. How can you not take this? Zach Gallen, 12-3 with a 2.52 ERA, pitches well in LA, and Julio Urias, 17-7 with a 2.27 ERA, has a great record in ERA against the Diamondbacks. I love that spot.
Okay. Any more from you, Noah, or should we move on?
No, that was my last one. That one just jumped off the page. I had to mention it.
Dylan, scouring the bottom half of tomorrow's card. Was there anything you liked?
Yeah, I'm looking at the card right now, and I know it's probably this place stinks, but I probably would take Minnesota at the short price with Winder on the mound against Hensley. You're getting a short number of -130. I made them a -147 favorite, so I know they've lost 4 of their last 5, but the Royals aren't playing much better either. So I think the Twins have a little fight left in them. I don't know if they'll make it, but I like the price here on the road. I'd probably take the Twins.
I don't know. It's a new regime in Kansas City. I don't know if you saw that. They got rid of Moore, their president of baseball operations. So.
Why? What was he doing wrong?
Sorry, I thought that was a rhetorical question. I didn't realize
it kind of was because they're just losing, right? That's why they let him go.
Yeah, basically, and just the rebuild wasn't happening fast enough. They got all the young talent up there. They're all hitting well.
Oh man, that was funny. Sorry, I laughed out loud at that. That pick, Noah, is it Ryan Heasley for Kansas City?
Yeah.
Jonathan Heasley, sorry.
Jonathan Heasley.
He's fitting into the Anibal Sanchez envelope.
Yeah.
I seem to be resurrected his career single-handedly by fading him. The last couple of starts, I've absolutely faded him. He's got out and shoved, and there's another picture as well. I can't quite think who it is off the top of my head.
Dylan acknowledged it. He says it smells. I like the Royals side, but if he sees something there in his numbers, I trust him.
Yeah, well, I'll leave it alone so as not to hinder any. As a favor to you both, I'll leave that game alone.
You guys see that clip that I put out on the College Experience of Patty C talking about something that smells?
No.
It's just hilarious. You got to check it out.
Right.
Patty C is a very funny man. The game that jumped off for me was just 2 pitches that I liked. One who's gone well all season is Martin Perez, and the other one is Michael Lorenzen. This game being the LA Angels at the Texas Rangers tomorrow. Lorenzen, we were high on at the start of the season. He's been away a long time. He only came back last week, so I think this is his second start back. And the total here just looked too high for me, 8.5. Both offenses are okay, but that's about it. And I just thought this had the look of a pitching matchup because Lorenzen's a name that I wanted to follow between his reinstatement from the IL and the end of the season. So I'll be watching that game tomorrow. And I think both pitchers can go okay here. So the 8.5 was too high for me, so I'll take an under on that one. And that was my only read really on the rest of the card. We'll get to our lock and dog picks in a moment. I will tell you about the Elias Game Plan app, which is going to be your friend over the NFL season. You will know the Elias Sports Bureau, the official statisticians of many of the big US pro sports leagues. It's full of information and insights brought to you by their research team. You get league validated team and player news and stats, head-to-head team comparisons ahead of the matchups, expert game analysis. So you'll get an advantage in your fantasy lineups or making your picks if you're having a bet. New features all the time are being added as well. The chat function in there is great. So if you want to elevate your NFL season today, download the Elias Game Plan app. That is ELIAS. We have a special offer for you, 15% off your annual subscription. But if you use our code SGPN15, that's the Elias Game Plan Sports Betting in the App Store or Play Store. Use our promo code SGPN15. And finally, Run Your Pool VIP, the subscription service that Run Your Pool have added on. So you get an extra edge against the books, plus access to real money pools, exclusive data to help your weekly game picks, premium content, in-depth guides how to dominate your pools. Use the code SGPNVIP at runyourpool.com/VIP and you get 50% off your first month of Run Your Pool VIP. That is SGPNVIP at runyourpool.com/VIP. Noah, did you know that 90% of onions are consumed in their country of origin?
No, I did not.
No,
What's
what do you
their
think of that?
country of origin?
Well, wherever it is.
So
There's
like when
barely-
they grow.
Yeah, there's barely any international trade in onions. They're just all eaten where they are. Okay, the flying animal now has attached itself to my wire.
Oh,
Where is
awesome.
he? Oh, there it is. Can you see?
Where did your onion stat come from?
I can't remember. Just came to me today, so I thought I'd share it with you. Yeah, it's not relevant really, but you know, not to worry. Okay, we'll move on. Lock and dogs picks, everyone. We'll start with you, Dylan.
All right. So as my dog, I told you guys I'm going to be on the Red Sox with Michael Wacha at plus 145. I think it's tremendous value. So Red Sox tend to play better with him on the mound. So I'm going to take them on the road to upset the Yankees. As for my lock, it wasn't a game I talked about, but I really like the price we were getting with the Padres and Joe Musgrove. Minus 132, I took them on the money line. Little chalky, but I think they're the right side. They won 4 straight. I'm taking Noah's approach. I just think they're the hotter team right now. I can't trust Jack Flaherty, excuse me. So I'm gonna take the Joe Musgrove here on the road or at home, excuse me.
Okay, like that. Noah, what have you got?
So I fell in love with one of Dylan's handicaps, and that was a first 5 and the under or the first 5 Red Sox money line in the Yankees game, just because of Wacha and. You know, I'm afraid of the bullpens that we've seen going up against the Yankees, and I don't know if you guys paid attention to it, but the Yankees were down 8-4 when Judge hit his 60th home run, and the count on the pitch was 3-1. And honestly, I can't even remember the pitcher's name, and he was probably not a very good bullpen arm for the Pirates, being up 4 runs. It was a meatball. It was right down the middle. And you have to be thinking some of these guys, if this isn't a very close game, would you want to be on a highlight? I think some of them might. I think some of them want to see history made. And if you're the highlight clip and you're just, Jose De La Cruz on the Pittsburgh Pirates, I mean, that's something pretty cool that you're going to be able to tell your grandchildren for a long time. So give me the first 5 Boston Red Sox money line as my dog, and for my lock, I'm going with the under in the Cleveland Guardians Chicago White Sox game. Johnny Cueto has pitched great in 2 games against Cleveland so far this year with a 1.93 ERA. I mentioned it earlier. He went 9.2 in 1 game, and he didn't allow a single run. And then Shane Bieber's in great form. 3 straight starts with only 1 run allowed. So I love this under.
No, I think you underestimate the mentality of elite sportsmen. If you think he's just chucked that meatball up just to get on the telly a bit more and to be the answer.
If you saw it, you would know. It was 91, a little change up right down the middle. It was like
he wants to make himself the answer of a quiz question in 20 years' time.
Why are we pitching to him? I really don't understand it. I saw something on a graph on Twitter that said Judge has seen more strikes in the month of September on average than in the month of August per game.
That's what we're talking about. It's that mentality of elite sports people. They think they're going to get him out. They all think they're better than the last man.
It's just
and they wouldn't be there. They wouldn't be there just to throw pies out.
4 runs and there's nobody on base. Walk them.
Nah, get away. I will take for my luck the San Diego Padres, I reckon. I'm just not really having Flaherty. I like him, but it hasn't happened for him. I think this is a good spot for the Padres. I'm not hugely keen on San Diego particularly. They haven't factored into many of my handicaps positively recently. But I think this is a good spot for them. They had a good win last night. They beat the Cardinals 5-0. We think the Cards might get revenge tonight, making this up for grabs tomorrow. So I'm going to take Musgrove to go well at home, and for the San Diego Bats to take advantage of Jack Flaherty's vulnerability. For my dog, I'm going to stick with my Hunter Green handicap if he is going. Me and Noah both had Hunter Green going for Cincinnati. And I think Cincinnati behind Green, I think they can turn over the Brewers and Brandon Woodruff. It's going to be a low-scoring game, but the Brewers are very beatable, I think. They had a good win tonight. It is a travel spot. They'll have to head to Cincinnati tomorrow. And I think Hunter Green, he's another one of these players. I'm expecting decent 3 or 4 starts for him between now and the end of the season. So I think the Reds will be live tomorrow. In a low-scoring game, they could edge out the Milwaukee Brewers. And I do prefer that full game over the first 5, actually. Cincinnati will need to get rid of Woodruff and then maybe nick it in the middle innings. So that will be my dog play there. And that, everybody, is that. I think I've made friends with this little creature now. I might keep him. So what's happening the rest of the night, Noah? Anything we need to know before we crack on?
Nothing too special with me. Honestly, just Thursday night, there's going to be some college football games, but Wednesday night here, just watching a couple of shows, I think, with some family. But, yeah, nothing too special for me on this part.
Dylan, you've been working hard all day. You need a little bit of R&R, son, don't you?
Yeah, I need to relax, but getting ready for the NFL pod. We got Thursday night football, so make sure to check out the NFL podcast. Me and Munaf had a great night for Monday's game, went 2-0. I think Munaf had a positive night as well, so make sure you guys check that out as well.
Perfect. Okie doke. I'm going to watch a couple of hours of baseball, see if I can get myself back into this fantasy matchup. But it's starting to go
out there.
The hungry dogs run faster, apparently. And I'm also going to go and put this little fella in the garden so he can go and have a little tootle around outside.
Put him in your son's bedroom.
I could do actually in his ear. I might go and put him in Bob's ear just for the crack.
He's better for it.
No, I'll go put him in the garden, see if he can make some friends. Thanks everyone for listening. We appreciate it. Thanks for joining in the chat. Thank you, Dylan. Thank you, Noah. We'll be back tomorrow in some capacity or other. Good luck with all your bets. Until then, from the MLB Gambling Podcast, we will see you down the road. Cheers.